Hiya guys, Nigel here, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Just wanted to put together a very quick video about these Ryefield model tracks. These are from the M4A3E8 Sherman they've just released. And in my review I did yesterday, I basically talked about how all this looks like it clips together. It doesn't. They're telling you not to glue anything here, but you do need to glue all of it actually. So, and I've also come up with a better way of putting them together as well, putting the individual pieces together. So I just thought I'd do this very quick video. Now I've got the parts off the sprues and I've actually cleaned them up, so you don't have to watch me doing that. One thing I have noticed, which is quite handy, with these horns that are down this side of the sprue, when you actually remove the little nibs, like so, you end up with a gap between the parts obviously, and if you get a flory sanding stick, a skinny stick, it's the perfect width to go between them and sand the nib. This one's brand new. If you get one that's a bit worn like this one here, it doesn't tend to pull them off the sprue like that one has. But yeah, I've used a brand new one just for this demonstration, but it's great because it's the perfect width. You just go in there, clean them up and then trim them off and use them. So that's that bit. Now when you put these together, I've done a couple. I've only done this much track here, but when you actually put these together, I've found a pretty good way of getting it all to go together and not have to use loads of glue. Now I'm going to use tweezers because I got massive fingers, great big stumps, and put these in here. Okay, there we go. So it's also telling us then, if you notice you've got the jig with the sort of chevrons facing forward, if you like. It also tells us here that we need to make sure that we get the outside and the inside differentiated. Now if I can show you here, I did say in the review, the outside's got these, the pins are portrayed with a hole in the middle, and these are, on the other side, they're just flat. So when you're doing these, make sure that you do one side that way round and then the other side would be that way round. So and you need to make sure that these bolts on the inside are facing up as well, but you AFV modelers out there probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's that done. So we've done this first step in the instructions here now, as it says there. Okay, so now it's telling us to put these F6 parts on. Let me get rid of this sprue out of the way. It's telling us to put these parts here on, F6, and the F5, the horns. Well, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is just put these F6 parts on, like so. Okay, so there we go, that's those on there like that now. And if you notice I haven't glued anything, I'm not putting the horns on. What I'm going to do now is take the top part of the jig. Sorry, what I need to do is first of all is remove this piece of sprue. Should have done that before I put the F6 parts on. So there we go, that's gone now, that can go out of the way. Okay, and then I can push the top part of the jig over like that, give it a squeeze, and then when I separate it, you can see this all stays in the top half and we're left with the parts on the bottom ready to have some glue put in them. And now what we can do is put some glue in those holes and not actually worry about getting the glue on the pins, whereas if we did it before, the glue would be in the pins. So just going to put a drop of glue. I'm using ordinary Tamiya extra thin, not quick setting. I tried it with quick setting, and the trouble is by the time you get to the other end, to get some more glue on this brush, by the time you get to the other end, the glue has dried. So put a decent amount in there so that it stays wet, just sort of filling up each of those recesses. There we go. I need to top my glue bottle up, and then quickly just pick that up, place it over the top and give it a squeeze. Okay, and that will all be glued together now. So when you come to take the top off, it all stays in the top, and then you can just run over those with your fingers. Right, leave that to dry for a few. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes, so just going to slide my tweezers under there so we can lift that out, and out it comes. Okay, so we can put that back in the jig now, like so, and then we can fit the horns. So we've got these horns here already cleaned up. Put some extra thin on there, and just glue the horn on. Don't worry too much about getting it all squared up and straight and everything. The object here is just to get them on there as quickly as you can. And there we go. So while they're all, you can see they're all higgledy-piggledy, none of them are straight. I can put the jig on the top, push it down, and then leave that for a couple of minutes just to go hard. Okay, now I want to look at putting the parts together, and what they're telling you to do here, as you can see, is just put these two parts in here, your F4 and your F3, then put two F6s over the top. Well, what I've discovered, if you take the jig, you get one of these jigs on every sprue of track links, and there's 4 of those, so you get 4 of these. And what I've done is cut the ends off the top and the bottom, and then what you can do is you can place your lower parts in the jig, like so. In fact, I'm going to move them more back to the middle. There we go. Now you can lay your track link, make sure it's the right way round, yes. You can lay your assembly on top of there and knock everything out of position like I've just done. Like so. You can see this is extremely fiddly, and probably like Peter Fielding commented in my review, he's going to be doing this in between other builds, which is probably not a bad idea. Now you can place that on there, and you can use the jig to keep everything in shape, and then just take a drop of Tamiya extra thin, and once again very carefully just fill the little pockets with a drop of glue, slide that in there, push down. Same on the other side, just a drop of glue in that little pocket, and then you basically hook those underneath the horns like so and push down, and that way the jig is helping you rather than trying to hold everything and get it all to go together. So yeah, as you can see, and then what you can do if you want to, you can put this over the top and just push down and make sure everything's nicely aligned. And once again it holds it. I think it jams in on the side of the pivot pins. So that's all together now. There you go. So that's just a very quick video to show you, and it's just come apart because I've tried to take it out too quickly. That's just a very quick video to show you how I go about building these track links, and just to sort of also correct what I said in my review. I basically said in here that all this clips together. Well, it doesn't. Right, there we go. So that's the that's your link of your length of track made up. You can see it's beautifully flexible and workable. It's quite floppy, but because it's a Sherman, it's going to have I think they call it active tracks, don't they? So it's going to be fairly taut anyway. You can see there's a lot of There's a lot of play in it, a lot of maneuverability, so it's going to look really good if you want to, you know, display it with your track going over a log or something like that. So there we go, that's how I've done it. Modify the bottom, modify the top, helps you put them together, and that's the way I've come up with assembling them, and sort of makes it a lot easier to place the glue in there. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and thank you to all my followers, all my Patreon followers, and thank you for all your kind comments. I'll see you later. Bye bye.